to my channel. Today we're talking about the new makeup releases for this week, so if you want to see that, then just keep on watching because we do have a few things to talk about. Okay, let's start. By the way, this look, scooch a little bit more, this look will be live next week probably. Is done with, again, a new brand for me, so I'm super excited to talk about that next week and the quality, of course. Let's start with Ensley Cosmetics. They released the Strawberry Moon palette and collection. This should be already up. The palette is $76. There is also a bundle option where you can also use the palette, 5 multichromes, moon dust, and 4 glosses, or all the other things. Listen, there are also like some glosses, there are some dust. They do look pretty, really pretty. The palette though is also looking quite good. I do like the color scheme. I do feel like Ensley has really great color schemes, at least in my opinion. So that is a really cool collection. Again, thinking about buying stuff from Ensley Cosmetics because, again, I am super excited about the new releases. Last week I showed you some images of the Blendbunny Cosmetics palette, and now we see the full reveal. I think this is a great idea because she hasn't had any like face palettes or all brown palettes, which is a great decision. I think, again, you can use them on your face and on your eyes, which I think you can, I mean, you can do with every single palette. We also have a closer look of the brushes, which seem to be a little bit more of a smaller side, and then which I mean for that palette would be really smart. I don't think this is a bad release at all. I think the colors look great. I think you can definitely do a lot with it. Will I buy it though? Probably not. To be honest, I never use like palettes like this on my face, at least. I would use that singular on my eyes, which I think it's a good palette for that, but again, it's not quite my favorite for that. But I think this is a great release, and I do think the palette looks really nicely. Also, last week we talked about the new palette by Too Faced Cosmetics, and they're releasing also 2 smaller palettes, which are the Pop Tart and Too Faced Brown Sugar Cinnamon and Frosted Strawberries. Yes, I think these are bite-sized, so they have 8 shadows. I think these palettes do look a little bit more up my speed, even though, I mean, it's a brown palette on the pink and a pink palette, so for me that's also like a skip. I do enjoy that there are 8 shades, both of the palette. If you don't own any palette, that could be for you, but other than this is a skip for me. And we do have also a palette together with Star Trek, or that is Star Trek themes from Adept Cosmetics. This palette seem to be really nice. There are, the shimmers in the palettes are multichrome, and this is also glitter and talc free, and there's one halo multichrome. I don't know what that means, but I mean, that doesn't matter. Do you think? There seem to be 5 matte shades and then 10 shimmer or multichrome shades, which I'm pretty sure this will be. Of course, if there are 10 multichromes in here, will be expensive, but I mean, it looks cool. I do enjoy Star Trek from time to time. More of a Star Wars fan though. But I think this is a really nice palette. Will I buy this? I am not sure. I definitely need to see what the price is and all, but I think the color scheme is looking really pretty. Could be a little bit more or deeper on the matte side, but at least there are several lighter shades, which I do enjoy as well. There's also some new lip products by Nars Cosmetics. I feel like Nars is releasing a lot of things in the last weeks. None of them which I'm saying like, listen, I need that in my life, but I mean, maybe you are. Listen, these are the Powermatte High Intensity Long Lasting Lip Pencil. They are $30 each. $30 each. They are rich in pigment and 12 hours staying power. They transform to a cream to matte texture, and Yeah, there are 10 shades. Listen, I do have dry lips. And those hyperman lip products are not meant for me. So if you don't mind that, maybe that is something for you. I feel the shades do look pretty. It's a lot of pinky shades. There are some reds as well. And a few more nude shades. I mean, yes, could be fun, could be nice. Again, not my favorite formula though. So that is a skip for me. We do have a collaboration between Torres and Beauty Creations Volume 2. This one has an eyeshadow palette, there is a face palette, there are sponge sticks, sponge stick shadows, there are lip quads and cream eyeshadows, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you can definitely see it on the picture. I think the palette doesn't look bad. The face palette is looking really nicely. In general, I'm not a fan of like liquid or stick eyeshadows, just my personal preference, but in general I don't think this is looking bad. The palette though is not like drawing me in, so for me that is a skip. Let's talk about Real Techniques. I feel like we don't talk about Real Techniques in the last month, years. They released a new sponge, which is the Miracle Concealer Sponge. It seems to be a more like a longer version of their complexion sponge. I love the yellow though. I mean, that's pretty cool. I think that would be nice. Normally, Real Techniques is quite affordable, which I do enjoy and prefer. And if I don't like use these Shop Miss A sponges, I definitely enjoy using Real Techniques. Sadly, again, they are not like talked about in the last month or years, so I definitely think that is sad, but definitely could see myself buying that sponge just to test it out. I mean, yellow, I love yellow sponges. Let's also talk about Kaleidos. Kaleidos did release her the Viva collection, and I have here a little bit of a closer look to some of the products. I did order a few products, to be honest, and I ordered 2 blushes. I ordered Angel Wing and Hot Shot, which are the more brownie shade and without a shimmer, and then the more peachy shade, which seem to have a little bit of a shimmer. I have to say, I absolutely love the blushes. I use them every single time. I will try trilling the video where I talked about my favorites, if that is already up, if I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I use them so often and I do love them, so I wanted to try the blushes. I didn't order the eyeshadow palettes because they were quite grayish toned, at least the lighter one. Like, there were one like light rose color, and then there were grays, and then the other one was a purple palette, which I do have already, like almost already known. I saw already that these palettes are not dupes to previous palettes, but they are they are sometimes really close. So I was like, yeah, do I really need that? And I asked you on my Instagram as well on my YouTube channel, and none of you seemed to be interested in the eyeshadow palettes, but you did seem interested in the glosses. And so I ordered 3 glosses. I ordered the Light Pale Shimmer, the Hot Pursuit, and then I also Free Fall, which was a favorite underneath here. So I was like, yes, I ordered that as well. So I will just get from that collection 2 blushes, 3 glosses, and I will test it out. Please leave down in the comments if you do want to have like a separate video with these products, or if you just say, well, throw it in with something else, you know what I mean? So that would be nice. If I do a video and it's similar for that, then I definitely will do a wear test with all of the shades, and if you can tell that they are there or not. There is also a new palette by Alter Ego, and this one is the Sakura palette, if I'm not mistaken. There are 15 delicate hues with pink and greens, and this should already be up, if I'm not mistaken. This is a really pretty palette. It definitely has some neutral tones, but also pinks and mints, and I think this is a really pretty palette. I normally shop Alter Ego is like copying other palettes, but to be honest, I'm not sure which one they are copying. So that is a good sign, I think. I think. This is looking really good. Don't have anything against it. I probably won't buy it though. But I'm not sure. Do you want me to test it out? Please leave it down in the comments. Also, we do have a new release by Makeup by Mario, and he's releasing concealers. And these are the SurrealSkin Awakening Concealers. They are multi-use concealers, lifts, blurs, brightens the under areas, like all the things they say when they want to buy, like sell us concealers. There are 22 shades and they are $29 each, which I think is quite okay. Luckily, Makeup by Mario is coming to Germany, I think end of August, if I'm not mistaken, or beginning of September. So definitely can try out some of the things from Mario. What should I try? Should I try this? Should I try other things? I am super excited. I don't know though, like the color selection for 22 shades is a little bit I wish there would be lighter shades as well as darker shades. So yeah, but I'm not sure about that. Leave me write down in the comments if you want to see something from Makeup by Mario. And then a brand we didn't talk about, I think never. To be honest, I don't think we talked about this at all on my channel, and that is the Balm. And they're releasing a new eyeshadow palette, which is the Mrs. New York eyeshadow palette. And listen, I know that these eyeshadow palettes from the Balm are mostly neutral palettes, and that is fine. Though I wish that it would be something different, to be honest. Well, I think we talked about one of the Balm releases. I'm not sure about it. So, but yeah, it's a quite neutral eyeshadow palette, which it's not for me. And so that one will be probably skipped, which is sad, because if that would have been a great palette, this is $32, which I think is a great price for an eyeshadow palette. So, but yeah, it's a skip for me. Let's talk about another neutral eyeshadow palette that is also a skip for me, and this one is Natasha Denona, and this one is the I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette. This should be, yeah, this is her medium palettes. They are $39, or I think 33 euros if I'm not mistaken. These are 15 new nude shades. There are matte, metallic, sparkling foils, and a new wet effect formula. I do love the packaging, but listen, I do own the Glam palette, I do own the Bronze palette, I do own the Yucca palette and the Love palette, and I love all of them. But this one is like, yeah, it's a mixture from retro to Glam palette. I don't own the retro, but it's nothing I definitely need in my collection. So this one will be probably skipped, except you said definitely need to try that, need to review that. And of course, but other than this, like for me, I wouldn't buy that. Another palette I won't buy is the Urban Decay Naked Metal Mania palette. And this one is already up in Europe, so if you're from Germany, for example, as I am, that could be already there. There are 12 shades, different finishes, and this is looking so lame. I'm sorry for that. But if you cover up the gold, the silver maybe as well, don't even listen. If you cover up that metallic purpley shade, that is a regular Urban Decay palette. It's nothing interesting. I would have wished that this, listen, I know it's a naked line, but I can't do something about like having them slap naked in every single palette they released. The Western palette, by the way, had a green. It's also not naked. So I wish that this would be more yellow, more red, pink, maybe also blue, like the palette cover. That would be maybe something interesting, but this one is just a brown palette with gold, silver, and a metallic purple. And I'm thinking there are still, oh well, I think there are maybe four matte shades in the palette. So still Urban Decay is lacking on the matte like train, which again, I wish that there would be maybe a matte yellow in here, maybe a matte black pink, maybe a matte red, you know, something a little bit different than all the other palettes. But I mean, it's Urban Decay, what are we expecting? So this is officially a skip for me. And then we come to something I would maybe be interested in. Made by Mitchell is releasing like face palettes. I feel like Made by Mitchell is releasing these like cream palettes again and again and again. I think the last releases were all cream products, if I'm not mistaken. I do enjoy though that these are the cream face palettes curved cases. And there are 3 different color schemes, light, medium, deep, and we do have 4 bronzer and contour shades, and then a blush bronze collection and 4 familiar blush shades. So we do have blushes as well as bronzers, which I think is a great choice, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if I would use all of the shades for bronzer, but I mean, in the light thing, but I mean, I do enjoy that. I think these are really nicely. I would buy that. That's amazing, but I would buy that. I do think that is a great choice. So that's a maybe. Let's come to Huda Beauty, or I think this one is GloWish, if I'm not mistaken, but she was releasing lip balms as well as quads. And we do have the Super Jelly Lip Balms and the Micro Mini Eyeshadow Palettes. We do have 3 Micro Mini Eyeshadow Palettes. There seem to be a purple, a green, and a more peachy shade. And then we do have 4 shades of the Lip Jelly shades, and there seem to be a purple, a green, and an orange. Seem to be one more, which seem to be a nude, just saying. These shades, like the lip balms, at least all the colors seem to be just pink. The GloWish, like, I don't know. Again, quads are not my favorite, like, amount of eyeshadows. I'm not that minimalistic. Yes, you could definitely work with those quads. Don't get me wrong, the looks are looking really pretty, as well as the lip balms looking good. Do I really need any of these? Nope, I don't think so. So that's probably a skip. And then let's come to another release for foundation, and these ones are the Shiseido RevitalEssence Skin Glow Foundations. They look interesting. Listen, I don't like the look. I don't like the packaging of these. I do enjoy like the claim of the title that they're RevitalEssence Glow Skin. I mean, that seemed to be nice. They have niacinamide and kefir in them. Okay, why not? There are several shades. Do like the shade range. That would be maybe. Do you want to see Shiseido on my channel? Leave it down in the comments. We do have 2 releases by Patrick Tar. Do we? I'm not sure. I think so. There's one is a new eyeshadow palette from them, and this is the Major Dimension 3 matte eyeshadow palette. So all of the shades are matte. We do have 2 cream shades as well. It's a cream and it's a black and a dark brown. This one is a cool and warm toned matte and cream formula all in one palette. It's $70. I mean, it's reminding me a lot, at least for the cream shades, to Huda Beauty, because she had in the Empowered palette also a deep brown and a deep black to do use as liners, which I think that is a great choice. These ones seem to be all like nice. Oh no, we just have one released by Patrick Tar. They seem to be nice. Do I really need a palette for $70 that is just browns? Nope. Nope, I don't. I would like buy anything from Colourpop. Like, I think these shades seem to be quite reminiscent of the Coconut palette by Colourpop. So just saying, use that one instead. It's like 12 or 14 or 16 bucks. And like, listen, if you do want to spend 70, go to Colourpop, pick out everything you want for 70 bucks. You will have like five to six eyeshadow palettes, and it will be fine. It will be fun. One that is intriguing me, a collection, is the new Flower Nose Swan Ballet Series collection. There's so many things in here. 3 color eyeshadow palettes, 5 liquid eyeshadows, 9 shimmer liquid lipsticks, 5 embossed blushes. I do love the blushes. Well, the last ones were not my favorite, but I mean in general. There are setting powder, perfumes, mirrors, blush brushes, hair brushes, hair clips, powder puffs, and there are also gift sets. Listen, I do love, I mean that, I do love packaging by Asian brands because they do the prettiest packaging ever, and Flower Nose is an Asian brand. Trying to link you to the video where I reviewed, I think, 2 or 3 collections by Flower Nose. These look really, really pretty, and I absolutely love the packaging. So I could definitely see myself buying from Flower Nose. Would you be interested? Tell me all about it. I don't know, Jaclyn Hill is at the moment, I feel like, in our minds, but not for the right reasons, after like closing her clothing brand as well as her jewelry brand. She also has, of course, a makeup brand, and she is releasing the Vanity Lights, a transforming high shine glazed balm that brings your true radiance to light. There are 5 shades, and I'm not sure if these are like creams. I think so. At least it seemed to be like a more like putty or cream formula. Not opposed to that, to be honest. It seems to be really pretty. Will I buy that? It's a nope for me because, listen, so far nothing that Jaclyn brought out was like, oh my god, I need that in my life ASAP. So that's a skip for me. Then we do also have a new release by Moira Beauty, and they released Sculpt and Glow sticks. And we do have 8 shades, if I'm not mistaken. There are a 2-in-1 bronzer and highlighter stick. Again, like the Catrice one, the NYX one, all the other ones. And again, I do think it is quite difficult to find your right shade in bronzer and highlighter in those sticks. Listen, never had the chance to do that. The $12, which there are 8 shades, $12. I think the $12 is so good. Again, I would have difficulties to find the right shade because I feel like in the bronzer I am one shade, but highlighter is a different thing. So I don't want to buy 2. I had that same problem with the Catrice, so I already know the struggles. So that's a skip for me as well. Again, not because of the price. The price is really nice, and I feel like Moira is releasing products like here and there everywhere, which is not a bad thing. But again, it's just that I wish that I had a better like skin tone, almost, that I have not the problem to find the perfect shade for me in those. We also have a new eyeshadow or like collective shadow palette from Denona Myrick's. This is the Groundwork palette, and it have defining neutrals for eyes, brows, face and lips. So we have everything in one palette. There are 2 different textures. There is a velvety pomade and 10 coordinated shades. So it's a multi-use palette. Again, you can use them eyes, brows, face and lips. This is $65, and yeah, don't mind that, to be honest. They do look pretty. I definitely can see with the warm brown like tone that it could be also really good for like as a blush or on the lips. I don't mind that. It does look a little bit sad, but I think that's because of the browns, like the sad beige kid, you know what I mean? So I think that could be nice. It's just not 100%. Like, listen, it's not 100% what I use. I do enjoy, like, listen, what if I don't want to like bring a whole palette for my look? What if I want to bring another palette and then maybe another blush? You know what I mean? So I feel like this is great for like makeup artists because you have everything you definitely need. But for me, as a single person that just does the makeup on myself and sometimes on other people, but listen, not often, that is a little bit overkill, at least in my opinion. So let's come to maybe another collaboration, because I feel like we had a lot of collaboration this week. This time it's Trevor and Dose of Colors, and this is a limited collection which has an Trevor Eternal Love eyeshadow palette. It has also plumping gloss, liquid eyeliner, and I do know Trevor. He popped up on my TikTok a lot, and I think that, like, listen, this is pretty. He did an amazing job with the eyeshadow palette, where we have like maybe 5 to 6 matte shades, which are basic matte shades. Like we have browns, but then we also have like 9, if I'm not mistaken, really interesting like shadows, like special shades. I do enjoy that. The gloss is also pretty, don't get me wrong. And then we do have a black and a white eyeliner, which again, great choice. I love that. Good job done, Trevor. Really nicely. I do like that. It is really a great idea. I do like this palette. And then for the last release, one by Makeup Revolution, they released 3 new eyeshadow palettes, and these are the Reloaded Dimensional eyeshadow palettes. They're $8 each, and they are available in the UK and in the US side. Has only 2 of them, which they will release probably a third. There is one quite neutral palette, one quite, let me say that. One is more warm toned, one is more cool toned, and then we do have a fun palette, if you will, with pinks, purples, and blues. It's like, listen, the layout seem to be like the Too Faced palettes, which I'm not mad about. Like the swatches do look pretty. Do I really need that? No, I don't. Did you want to see that? I mean, I don't know. Like I would be mostly interested in the colorful palette. I do think though there is a little bit of like depth lacking as well as lightness lacking. You know what I mean? There are not a lot of light shades, also not a lot of dark shades, so it's quite medium toned. That's a problem. And the more neutral shades, we do have that. So, it's probably a skip for me as well. These were all the new makeup releases for this week. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of my makeup releases. Again, I feel like this week is a little bit more... The only thing I probably are the most interested is the new flower nose things. Again, Kaleidos I did order, so there will be again a video up. Please leave down in comments what you want to see, a full video with them or maybe a compilation with other products. That could be also fun, you know, but yeah, tell me everything about it. I wish you a beautiful week. We see us in my next video, and again, there will be next week a fun week with some new brands I didn't try before, with palettes I didn't try before, so I hope you will enjoy that. We see us in my next video, so